Wisława Szymborska, the 9th woman in the world and the first from Poland to win the Nobel Prize in literature. The inventor of new literary genres based on humour, irony, and the grotesque. The Nobel Committee awarded Wisława Szymborska the Nobel Prize for poetry that with ironic precision allows the historical and biological context to come to light in fragments of human reality. Her work exudes wisdom, brilliance, and a unique sense of humour. She didn't like pathos. She used to say, "Whenever I write, I feel as if someone was standing behind me and making funny faces. This is why I am very careful to avoid big words as much as I can." She was born in 1923 in Prowęd, Poland. Her poetic talent was apparent from early childhood. Her father used to offer her a small coin for humorous short verses, on the condition that they were genuinely funny. During World War II, she attended clandestine classes and worked for the railroad to avoid being sent on forced labor to Nazi Germany. After the war, she began studying Polish literature at the Jagiellonian University in Kraków, but after a few terms, she switched to sociology. For financial reasons, she quit her studies without a degree, though she was an active member of Kraków Literary Society. Her first poem, I Seek the Word, was published in 1945, and her debut volume of poetry, That's Why We Are Alive, in 1952. Since that time, her life was an uninterrupted burst of creativity. In poetry, she most valued elevating the everyday to the extraordinary. Szymborska was a contributor to many newspapers and magazines. She was prolific, but not everything she wrote was published. Besides belonging to the Polish Writers' Union and Pen Club, she was also an honorary member of the American Academy of Arts and Letters. Not just a poet, she was also a literary critic, essayist, and translator of French Baroque poetry. Szymborska's sense of humour was evident in her daily life and manifested itself in her famous passion for creating collages, which she mailed as postcards to friends and acquaintances. She used newspaper clippings, both photos and texts, to create extraordinary minimalist compositions. These collages, each composed for a specific addressee, were characterized by a surreal sense of humor and apt punchlines. The poet died in 2012. When her funeral began at Rakowicki Cemetery in Kraków, instead of the traditional bugle call that resounds through the city at noon each day from the tower of the St. Mary's Basilica, the trumpeter played a melody composed for Szymborska's poem, Nothing Twice. Nothing can ever happen twice. In consequence, the sorry fact is that we arrive here improvised and leave without the chance to practice. Even if there is no one dumber, if you're the planet's biggest dunce, you can't repeat the class in summer. This course is only offered once. No day copies yesterday. No 2 nights will teach what bliss is in precisely the same way with precisely the same kisses. One day, perhaps some idle tongue mentions your name by accident. I feel as if a rose were flung into the room, all hue and scent. The next day, though you're here with me, I can't help looking at the clock. A rose? A rose? What could that be? Is it a flower or a rock? Why do we treat the fleeting day with so much needless fear and sorrow? It's in its nature not to stay. Today is always gone tomorrow. With smiles and kisses we prefer to seek a chord beneath our star. Although we're different, we concur, just as 2 drops of water are. Translated by Stanisław Barańczak and Claire Kavanagh.